Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the special broadcast by Leadership Television. Today, Saturday, May 28th, 2022. Of course, today is good. Today is bright. Today is the special national convention of the Opposition People's Democratic Party here at the nation capital in Abuja, where it is expected by one member of the party will be elected as the flag bearer, presidential flag bearer of the party for the 2023 general election. Of course, I'm not alone. With me in the studio is Leadership National Assembly correspondent Sunday Isua. Sunday, welcome to the studio.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, I know you've been following happenings since morning at the Velodrome section of the National Stadium, Moshood Abiola National Stadium today. I don't know if you have been there before you came here.
Yeah, when the people have not actually arrived, the delegates are still being awaited, but we know that about 774 delegates will be voting for the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
Now, as we speak, the accreditation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
And I know they've gone far. Any moment from now, the process and proper will commence. And as we speak also, about 3 or 4 presidential aspirants have arrived the venue.
Yeah.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Akwa Ibom State Governor Emmanuel Udom, and I think Dele Momodu. I don't know, there are talks here and there, whether he has stepped down or not. We are not aware yet.
Yes, but when the process started, Dele came out to say that he is supporting a particular candidate, but maybe he may have changed his mind to see his ambition to the end. But as it is now, I don't think he has all the chances to be the presidential candidate, because if you analyze the number of delegates that will be going there, from the southwest, we have some other political juggernauts that may want to, get the vote of this delegate. But for Dele Momodu, well, let's see what may likely happen. It could only be miracle for him to emerge.
To be miraculous for Dele Momodu to emerge. All right, viewers, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll start this discussion in full gear. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome back. It's still a special broadcast here at Leadership Television on the special national convention of the major opposition party, People's Democratic Party, here in Abuja today to choose the party's flag bearer for the 2023 general election. And don't forget, as I said earlier, I've been joined by Leadership National Assembly correspondent Sunday Isua. With me, we shall be discussing issues and the aspirants. Sunday, now let's talk about the process first. Now, I have gone through the venue side myself. What is your assessment of the arrangement by the Convention Planning Committee chaired by former Senate President, Senator David Bako? So, what is your view about the arrangement?
Yes, for them to have taken this convention to the National Stadium, it means that they want a free and fair process because whoever that come with a supporter, there are some places that that supporter may not have access to. Yes, you can be around the stadium, but they will not allow you to enter where the voting will take place. So that in itself shows that the arrangement is quite conducive for all contestants. And I think the area, if you go around, you will see a lot of security men around there and all that. So, well, I think the planning is quite okay, but the adjustment of the timetable by INEC, is something that may have caused some
Okay,
sudden
yes, I was going to
confusion.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, but
it will cause
maybe
confusion.
yes,
Okay.
the PDP may have wanted to shift.
Well, yes,
this.
INEC actually shot itself in the foot
Yes.
by acceding to some, because this IPAC of a thing, I know the major political parties are not even part of them. They don't attend their meetings. It's always the minority parties have come together and say we are inter-party advisory council. Now, yesterday, the national chairman of is it NDP, Engineer Yabagi Sani,
Yes.
who was the presidential candidate of the party in 2019.
Yes.
He was one that went to INEC with the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Chief Dan Wanyao, to say, please, we need more time for us to conclude our primaries. But then the major opposition party, PDP, showed that it is very, very serious about this. And this morning it came out to say, well, we are going ahead with our convention because we have put everything in place to ensure that we respect the INEC schedule and timelines for the election. Now people are saying maybe before next week, President Buhari will just come back and sign the amended Electoral Act 2020. I said that is not possible. You can't change the rule of a game in the middle of the game because as we speak, the game has started. Primaries have started by all the parties. So nobody can tamper with the Electoral Act as we speak. Now, let's talk about the number of people that will decide the winner of the today's presidential primary election. 774 delegates coming from each of the local governments across Nigeria. Now, let's talk about, is this okay? Is this
well?
Because for the first time, no statutory delegates. So
yes, I think that's the best process.
Honestly speaking,
yes, that should go on, and even at that, some regions will still have advantage over other regions because from that calculation you can see that the Northwest have more delegates because they have more states and local governments, so they still have the upper hand, but they only have few aspirants contesting from that region. So if the voting pattern will be based on states and regions, then that people from that particular region will be getting the day. But the process may likely be quite different. Yes, because delegates. So a lot of people have been making comments concerning the delegates. They have their own views when it comes to selecting candidate, while other Nigerians will want candidates that are competent enough to stand for the election. Delegates sometimes may not necessarily go towards that view.
Exactly.
So the selection process itself is a serious problem. INEC have compromised the process for them to have yield to the request of the inter-party. Yes,
but for you, will it change anything? For me, it will not change anything.
It may not change anything, but I think it will be unfair to President Muhammadu Buhari to say that within this period he is signing another amendment of the electoral. Yes, because in 2018 he came out to tell us that
it was very close to the election.
The,
Yeah, exactly.
The Electoral Act was
And now it's not
passed
even
by the
close.
National
The
Assembly.
game
Close
has started.
Yes,
So
now
nobody can
the
change
game
rules
have
of the
started,
game.
you know, and all that. So it will be unfair. But he can decide to sign it, and if he sign it, nobody have anything to do. You can only go to court and challenge it. And the day he sign it, that law takes effect. And the one that they have used in the process also stand.
Exactly.
You know, so he should not cause confusion by trying to say that okay, he will sign that law.
And the best is not to sign it.
Yes.
The game has started.
The game
so
have already.
You can't change the rule of the game in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Also, at the APC, we don't know when, even though they say next week, special national convention to choose their own presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Also, 774 delegates from all local governments across Nigeria will vote. And for me, that's the best electoral college system, because these delegates are representative of the totality of Nigeria. 774 local government. So I don't care whether one part has more local government than the other. In fact, where you have statutory delegates, that's when you even have undue advantage.
Yes.
Because there are places where your party is not in power. There will be less statutory delegates. Where there will be places where your party, you can see. So let's go with this.
This process, I think, is the best process. If the politicians will play by the rules of the game.
By the rules of the game. And before politicians can play by the rules of the game, the electoral umpire must also be seen to be totally impartial. I'm talking about INEC.
Yes, I think INEC, with what INEC did yesterday,
it was unexpected.
Yes, I think INEC have already compromised the process.
People are already saying INEC is working for APC. Is this good for the electoral system?
Well, I mean, not expressly say that INEC is working for APC.
People are making the allegation already.
But it was not the APC that made the request, but IPAC works for all political parties. And APC may have their own interest.
And don't
from their body language,
the smaller parties.
from their plans and all that, then you know that they were in tune with what IPAC was doing. So IPAC was actually pushing their interest. And I think for INEC to have adjusted their programs, I think it's uncalled for, because they will be, you know, pressure. More pressure will now come on certain things that the big parties know that they won't be able to meet. You know, any issue that they know that they won't be able to meet up with the timeline of INEC, they will continue to pressurize the electoral umpire to shift or adjust those timetables. And I think is very bad for democracy, very bad for the image of INEC. I think they should not try this kind of adjustment again.
All right, Sunday, thank you for that wonderful analysis. Let's see if you can go to the venue of the Special National Convention to talk to one of our correspondents on ground, Chibuzo Ikebe, Leadership Politics editor. We'll go on a short break happening as we speak. Don't go away. This show continues.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
All right, welcome back. Still a special broadcast on the Special National Convention of the major opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, to elect their presidential candidate for the 2023 general election. You are still tuned to Leadership Television here at the headquarters of Leadership newspaper in Abuja. Sunday, let's look at these people, the gladiators, their antecedents and their chances in today's context. Let's talk about former Senate President Bukola Saraki. Do you think he has the political clout to actually carry the day today in this contest?
Well, Bukola Saraki is a very strong politician. You can't write him off, and he knows the game. His father was a very great politician, so he took over from his father, even though he's a trained medical doctor. But you can see how things have been playing out. Even when he wanted to be Senate president, the odds were against him. But at the end of the day, he still emerged and spent complete 4 years without having any problem at the National Assembly. And this contest, has been a contest that he has put in his own energy and all his calculation just to make sure that he gets the ticket of the PDP. And his belief is that even though he is from the north, but his belief is that he served as a bridge between the north and the south. Yes, because if
So
you
you
check,
have not have south.
yes, so if you check his name, it's a mixture of the north and the south, and so he will have sympathizers from the north, and he will also have sympathizers from the south. But as I said, when it comes to delegate selection, it is very, very difficult. But Bukola Saraki is eminently qualified, and if he gets the ticket of the PDP, I think he will give the ruling party
But do you see
a
him
very
winning
good
the
fight.
contest
No,
today?
it will be difficult for him
Very, very difficult.
to win. Yes, coming from the North Central, which a region that don't have much vote like the Northwest, I think, and it will be very difficult for him. We still have some other strong gladiators. We have serving governors, who are doing going into this contest. He was a former governor and former Senate president. So he is not in power now. So he has some kind of
To influence a lot of
limitation
things.
to influence a lot of things. So, well, he will give a good fight, but he may not be the candidate.
All right. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who was the candidate of the party in the last general election 2019, is back again and is very, very serious about it. He wants to get it. Probably is trying for the last time
Yeah.
because of age.
Yes.
So,
To be sincere, there is no any politician now. President Muhammadu Buhari cannot contest presidential election again.
yes.
So there is no politician now in Nigeria that have the crowd of Atiku Abubakar
After Buhari.
after Buhari. Buhari cannot contest election again.
So he's out of the game.
He's out of the game. But
The political structure,
if PDP,
the people.
yes, if PDP want to win this presidential election with ease, I think presenting Atiku Abubakar is like they have around 16 million votes in the bank. So all they need to do is to go to areas where they lost last time and make sure they win. But there are still agitations that power should go to the south. I think these are
That's a factor.
yes, these
And
are
a strong one
factors.
for that matter.
Yes, that may work against Atiku. But this is Nigeria. Anything can happen. But I still, even though I still believe that power should, since power have been rotating between the north and the south, I think a southern candidate should emerge from the PDP. But if PDP actually want to win the next presidential election and they were able to present Atiku Abubakar and pacify other aggrieved parties to join forces and make sure that their party win election, I think Atiku is the best candidate to emerge.
All right, let's talk about incumbent Sokoto, our governor and former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal.
Well, Tambuwal is eminently qualified for this race, but for the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari, who is coming from the northwest, spend
8 years.
8 years, people may not be disposed, to the Tambuwal's candidacy.
But when you say people now, not Nigerians, the delegates who will decide their fate. The
Well,
774 delegates.
yes, I'm seeing a situation whereby even if the delegates, made him their candidate, he will still face a very serious hurdle, because even within their party, they will not want to go for
Because of
Tambuwal
geopolitical consideration.
Yes, but Tambuwal is eminently qualified. As a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, he did perfectly well, even though there were crises here and there, but he did and managed things very, very well. So he is a serving governor. So, and delegate sometimes go for the highest bidder, but we have had situation where delegates collect higher money and still vote for people who gave them the lowest amount of money. But well, what I see, I think Tambuwal may not emerge the candidate of the PDP.
Well, we can only cross our fingers and see what happens at the end of the day. But now we also have former Senate President, who was Senate President at the age of 39, less than 40, and later Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Pius Anyim.
Anyim, the last time I discussed with Anyim, my thinking before was that Anyim is an old politician who is not in tune with the present realities. But the way that lawyer was talking to me, I saw him as someone, if he emerged president in Nigeria today, Nigeria will move along with the global trend of technology. He has so much knowledge on technology and how he can, help the youth to grow. But a lot of odds may be working against him. He is somebody who have been out of power for a very long time. And, during the Goodluck Jonathan's administration, when he was the secretary to the government of the federation, he did perfectly well. Most of these programs that were successful during the Jonathan's administration, you can trace them back to his own effort. So Anyim is a good presidential material, and had it been, I have the power to choose the president of Nigeria, I would say the presidency should go to the southeast where Anyim comes from. And if that kind of person emerge the presidential candidate of the PDP, and at the end of the day emerge president, I think Nigeria will get it better. But for this contest, I don't see him, becoming the flag bearer of the party.
Sonny, we need to pause. We're still talking about Anyim Pius. Anyim, I hope our viewers will be able to see his photo and see how he looks like. Former Senate President and former Secretary to the Government of the Federation. As we speak now, voting has not commenced at the venue of the Special National Convention, and a member of the Convention Planning Committee, a former minister, Professor Jerry Gana, actually said they are, interested in being thorough, and that is why voting has not commenced. Do you have anything to say?
Well,
is this normal? Voting has not commenced by this time.
Most conventions.
They are still within the 2-day time frame they give.
Time frame, yes, and most conventions always take place in the night.
Exactly.
And so, I will be happy if the PDP, make this selection process during the daytime. I think we have Chibuzo.
Okay, Chibuzo is joining us. Chibuzo Kebe is leadership politics editor. Speak to us live from the velodrome section of the MKO Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja. Chibuzo, good evening. Hello, Chibuzo, can you hear me? I seem to be having challenges with connection with Chibuzo Ukebe, leadership politics editor, who is now live at the velodrome section of the MKO Abiola National Stadium, venue of the PDP Special National Convention 2022 to elect the party's presidential flag bearer for the 2023 general election. Now, you were saying something before we were able to reestablish connection with Chibuzo, conclude your line of thought.
Yeah, so I think Anyim may not get the ticket, but if the delegates,
not because he's not qualified.
Yeah, not because yes, he's not qualified. He's eminently qualified, but considering certain things that are playing out right now within the circle of the party, I think he may not get it. But he's he will certainly give it a very good fight.
All right, let's talk about the immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Peter, Fayose Peter, the Rock, is in this race. What do you have to say about Peter Fayose?
Yes, Peter Fayose have always been saying that if President Muhammadu Buhari can be president, he too, he
and that's correct. That's absolutely correct.
He can be president.
That's correct.
He is qualified, and being somebody who is coming from the southwest, where Obasanjo was from, and they've had Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, even though he's in the APC, who has been there for about 7
years now. Exactly 7 years today.
Yes, and the PDP itself, the Southwest PDP, I don't think they are serious about getting the presidency from their,
So Fayose look like an interloper.
Yes, so I don't think they are serious. But Fayose is qualified to be a candidate, in this election. But I don't see him, going far in this particular contest, because I don't think he will be able to meet up with the demands of the delegates and certain things that are playing out within the party.
Well, let's talk about incumbent Bauchi State Governor, Governor Bala Abdulkadir, Mohammed Bala Abdulkadir, and who had just spent 3 years now, is on the fourth lap to complete the Bauchi governorship. But then, instead of him going for second term, he opted to be in the PDP presidential race.
Yeah, I like Bala's courage, and he is a very courageous person. Is it because he's a journalist who have been there, who knows Nigeria, who knows everything?
Put it on the
Okay.
This one. Now we have a leadership politics editor, Chibuzo Ukebe, joining us from Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Chibuzo, good evening. Can you hear me? All right, something is still wrong with that.
Yes, Chibuzo is still far from us. I think Bala Mohammed, he's giving it a very good fight. But even though I don't see him winning the ticket, I see him as somebody who will go back and substitute his SSG as the candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
You are sensing a plan?
Yes, of course.
I know it has happened before.
Yes.
It can happen again.
Yeah, and the party can say, okay, well, you have given it a good fight, but let's see how we can substitute the name of the SSG for your name so that you can still, continue. And for the fact that INEC have, shifted the submission of list of candidates, it's an advantage to him. But I don't see him getting the ticket, even though he may likely give it a very good fight. Yeah.
All right, that was Bauchi State Governor Mohammed Abala Mohammed, the Karan Bauchi. Now let's talk about Dele Mohammed, journalist, publisher, and very, very how do I say, well-known Nigeria.
Yes,
a well-known Nigeria.
He is well-known, and he has been doing a lot for this country.
Okay.
But he has not been in the mainstream politics. So there are certain
and
things,
he does not have political structure.
Yes. So there are certain things that will work against him.
But most of them will not like this argument that they don't have structure. They just believe they can just jump into a race.
Yes, I did mean we have independent candidacy. This kind of people can actually, pull so many supporters in the general
outside
election.
the normal party,
but
politics,
delegates,
party structures.
Yes. So, but some delegates, apart from what they will grab, they will say, okay, how long has this man been the sponsor of this party? Even though he has been doing a lot of work for humanity and Nigeria, but I don't see him getting the ticket.
All right, before we go on another short break, let's talk about River State Governor Ezenwo Wike. People have been talking about Wike.
Yeah.
I know this discussion is not about a particular order.
Yeah.
It's not about who is the best candidate or not.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Ezenwo Wike, the River State governor. He's very much in this race.
Yes.
How many chances? How much chances will you give him?
I think Wike may likely be second to Atiku if this contest goes the way
You
it is
predicted.
going.
You predicted.
Yes, if it goes the way I predicted. But he has given, so much fight in this, and he is very serious. He's just like the Donald Trump of the
US.
United States. Yes, he has never hidden his
So are we going to
feelings
have
and all that.
a Donald
You know,
Trump version in Nigeria?
sometimes I like this kind of people that are straightforward,
Honestly.
unlike the usual
People don't like his
politicians.
style. They say he
Yes,
doesn't have charisma.
yes.
He talks too much,
It's not about talking too much. If you are saying the right thing, I think you are in order.
and you can go after anybody.
Yes, Wike is straightforward. Wike will not say something in the morning and say a different thing in the night. If he say it in the morning, he will still say it in the night. And I think these are the kind of politicians we want.
Regardless of his
I'm telling
modus
you,
operandi that
yes,
people
but
believe is rash.
Wike will likely give a very serious fight, but I see him coming maybe second. But whatever that happens, he will give a very serious fight in this.
That was about the next thing Wike, River State governor. Now we go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome back. It's still a special broadcast on Leadership Television about the PDP Special National Convention to elect the party central leader for the 2022 election. Chibuzo Okebe, I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me, Chibuzo?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear now. I think the network is much improved.
All right, Chibuzo, if you can hear me, I'm not hearing you. So we don't know what's wrong with that connection to Chibuzo Okebe, Leadership Politics Editor at the venue of the PDP Special Convention. We stopped at Yesim Wiki. There are other notable, aspirants, and one of them is Moazi Sam Ohabunwa, pharmacist of repute. Is in this race. Businessman was jumping into the arena. He's throwing his hat into the ring.
Most of them joined the race because they thought that PDP will actually zone the presidential
To a
ticket
particular zone.
to a particular zone. So we are expecting that, okay, if it comes to our zone, at least I know my capacity. I know that, yes, my integrity. I know what people think about me. So this is what will happen. But with the kind of people we have in the race, where the race is thrown open, it will be very, very difficult for people who are not traditional politicians. Let me use
We
that
have
word.
traditional politicians, you have traditional journalists and the social media journalists.
Yes, it will be very, very difficult for Abuja.
All right. Mohammed Ayatuddin, foremost investment banker, resigned from the race this earlier this morning, and he came up with allegation that the process, as according to his own observation, was obscenely monetized. I don't know. Is it because it's strange to party politics? Because there is no way you'll be in this kind of venture without, greasing palm.
Of course. That is why the political process in Nigeria will always be difficult with this kind of people. You know, he too is not a traditional politician. For someone who have worked in the bank, and you know that you don't just spend a kobo without accounting for it. But in
So you find it
politics,
very strange.
yes, in politics you spend a lot of money without even accounting for them. So if you have that kind of mind, it will be very difficult for you to go through this kind of process, especially the process that involves delegates. You know, meeting delegates, you have to spend money. You have to spend money, you know, hiring security men to be guiding you from one state to another. And you have to visit all the states, and all these things, it involves money, you know. So, and people with the kind minds of Hayatuddin may not want to, you know, keep spending money that they know that it won't return. So he feel that it's better for him, you know, to quit the race. But I was seeing him as a candidate, as an aspirant who just came to announce himself
for the first time.
Yes,
Subsequently,
yes, because even in our website, you know, you saw his advert on Google and all that. So he's somebody who just came to announce himself, and I think for this period he has already announced himself. So he should just get ready for another time.
So it's like a ram in a fight who would naturally go back
Yes,
to gather more
strategize.
strength and strike.
Yeah,
And that will be 2020 what?
27.
27.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a long time. It's not a long time. Mohammed Ayatuddin, who has earlier this morning, actually quit the PDP presidentiality. This one, there is only one female aspirant in this race, dominated by men, Tarelia Oliver. I don't know if you know her. I don't know her.
I like her courage.
But yes, I want to also say she surprised me, and kudos to her.
I like her courage. Even though political parties have a way of subsidizing their funds for women, I think for her to have, you know, stood her ground to go after these men, I think she's a very courageous woman. And whoever that emerged president in 2023 should consider this kind of woman, because she has something to offer. Yes, for her to have gone through this process, she has something to offer. So these are the kind of people Nigerians should, you know, consider. Yeah,
I know they're talking about 35% affirmation, women development, and then women are actually running away because they believe it's about money.
Yes, you know,
they don't have money.
Yes, you know, we have seen how women, you know, are actually defeating strong men, even in this concept in Adamawa State. You know,
exactly. The governorship by
primaries. Yes,
won by serving senator.
Yes, where Senator Binani defeated, you know,
former
governor,
a member of the House of Reps,
yes,
and the rest of them.
Former chairman of EFCC.
Okay, yes, Mohammed
Ribadu, who contested some time.
It is an eye opener.
You know, and for that woman to be given that kind of fight, it put a lie to the fact that without women affirmation, or what do they call it?
Yeah. So you know, without affirmation, you can actually achieve what they want to achieve.
Yes, no. I've seen a lot of women, you know, winning tickets.
Exactly.
And
even
women have
election.
Yes, women have the population, they have the knowledge, you know, and for a woman to go through this process and defeat men, then it means that we have more women that can actually help in the development of this country. So I am encouraged by this PDP woman aspirant, and I believe that the party should not you know, let her down. She should be encouraged and encourage other women too to play part in the development of Nigeria.
All right, breaking news coming from the velodrome venue of the PDP Special National Convention. The United States trained medical doctor by the name Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, a presidential aspirant of the People's Democratic Party, has just withdrawn his aspiration for the River State governor, Iyesin Wiki.
Yes,
so we don't even need to talk about him again.
You know, let's talk about Anakwenze.
Okay.
You know,
Anakwenze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nwachukwu
Anakwenze. He has withdrawn.
You know, he came into the race as someone who have been abroad, and there have been clamor by Nigerians that people who are abroad should come back home,
contribute their
quota. And he came, you know, he bought the form of the PDP. But during the screening process, you know, he did not understand the society he was operating. So there are some certificates he didn't present to the committee. So he was
But cleared.
he was sent back.
Okay.
Yes, he was sent back to go and get this certificate. And the news went around that he has been disqualified, but it was untrue. The committee actually asked him to go and bring those
Which he did.
certificates. So he went and get every certificate, and he presented to the committee, and he was cleared. So he began his campaign just a week ago. So, but for him to have stepped down for Nyesom Wiki, it means that yes, some discussion, have gone on, and he knows that his chances.
The fact that
he
didn't go around,
his
didn't
chances
campaign.
are slim. And just like I said earlier, so you can see that Nyesom Wiki is now getting some kind of advantage from others.
We hope they can translate to something for him. So that's the latest news coming from the venue of the PDP Special National Convention at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja. Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, one of the presidential aspirants, has just withdrawn his aspiration. He has withdrawn from the race to support Rivers State Governor Ezenwo Iyesen. We keep you posted as events unfold at the venue of the convention. We're still trying to establish connection with one of our correspondents on ground at the venue, Chibuzo Okebi, who is the politics editor of the Leadership newspaper. Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, let's speak on a general level. How will you say the whole event will actually end? I want to believe in the next less than 24 hours from now.
Well, it will end peacefully.
You foresee implosions, and people will be angry and say
no.
There was injustice. We are leaving the party.
Yes, with the kind of people that are contesting, I don't think they will have issues. They will only have issues if Atiku Abubakar lose this ticket, because you know him as a very desperate man who want to rule this country, and I see him as someone who may likely want to get any available ticket to contest the 2023 general election, because to some of his supporters, it's an opportunity for him, to be the next president, since he's been seen as somebody who have the largest supporters as it is now. If you remove the support from the political party, he has the largest supporters. He has been in almost all the political parties in Nigeria today. Yes, if you check, yes, APC and all that. So, and most of these parties that are currently functioning, those ones that are doing well, Atiku have supporters here and there, and Atiku believe that if he can get this ticket, he will see what some other parties are adopting him as their sole candidate, and so he may not want to remain where he won't get the party ticket. But I think that maybe at the end of the day, if PDP want to win this election, they should not allow crisis to start after this convention. They should make sure that they put their house together, because they have some issues on ground. Like recently we heard of Peter Obi, pulling out of the contest, even though
senators like Ehina Abia, who are just joining
Abga and all that. So I think the PDP should not allow some kind of crisis to affect their chances, because what actually made what some of the things that made Goodluck Jonathan to lose was the pulling out of some governors from the party. So yes, so when that happened, definitely, no matter what
the support base,
no matter the support base, it will affect the progress of that particular party, because governors have a lot of supporters. You can't underrate any governor. They have a lot of supporters. So you must do your things and make sure that it works in tandem with their own plans.
Well, I think it's also important to tell our viewers how these are 774 delegates from across the country, how they actually emerged. Because a lot of people believe, being delegate now is a special thing. You become a millionaire overnight. You will get dollar in your house, which necessarily may not be the case. Most of these things are exaggerated.
Yeah.
That a particular aspirant has given delegate $35,000 in today's economy.
Wow.
It's not possible. That's about 15 million naira, even at the exchange, official exchange rate.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Or someone say, oh, Atiku has given 15 million naira. All this exaggeration on the social media and the rest of them. Now, this 774 delegate that will decide who becomes the presidential candidate of the PDP is important. We tell our viewers how they emerged. There was local government congresses
Yes.
where these delegates contested and they were voted for. So, do you have anything to add to that? Are there special people?
Honestly, they are not.
Are they special people?
They are not special people, but except that some of them emerge through the support of others.
Good.
Yes, and these other people also have people who support them.
Exactly.
So when it comes to lobbying, they will say, okay, yes, I know how this delegate emerged, so let's lobby him. It's already in our camp, but let's make sure that another aspirant did not take him away from us. So you will see that people who are serving governors already have some kind of advantage.
Exactly. Thinking
Yes.
they will vote as statutory delegates.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it will not be. And now the way people are exaggerating of $35,000 bribe, this and that. I say if they give a delegate only 774, and they give each $35,000. So how much would they give every Nigerian that will now vote at the general election?
you know, during these primaries, during these primaries, there are some places we went and we observed the process. Sometimes these politicians, they don't give the delegate those amounts. Someone can just come and say, if once you finish voting, you have 1 million. You have 1 million. So if you calculate the number of the delegates, you will find out that in some senatorial districts, they have like 269 delegates, like Kaduna South, for example, in the PDP.
The whole of Kaduna South.
Yes, in the PDP, they have like 269 delegates. So
from each local government?
No, the entire senatorial district.
That, I mean, 3 each from all the local government in Kaduna South.
Yes, about 8
8 local government.
Okay. So if you check, you will find out that no candidate, no aspirant gave them 1 million. But you will hear that, okay, this aspirant promised,
10 million.
yes, this aspirant promised this delegate, 1 million and a bike. Or this aspirant gave these people 600,000. Of course, some of the aspirants gave out money,
Of course,
but they don't give their money to all delegates. They have their own people that they know that they will vote for them, even if they didn't give them money. So they go for people that they know that these people will not vote for us. They want to win them over, so they give them more money. So that is how they are playing the game.
If all the fake news, the exaggeration on social media are actually true, maybe all of us will now become delegates in 2017. 2017. All right, exactly. Well, we're still live here at Leadership Television. Don't go away. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome back. It's still a special broadcast on the special national convention of the major opposition People's Democratic Party taking place here in Abuja to elect the party's presidential flag bearer for the 2023 general election. Of course, I'm not alone. With me in the studio since the beginning is Leadership National Assembly correspondent Sunday. Mr. Sunday, thank you for being with us thus far. Now we have a breaking news coming from the venue of the convention. Some EFCC operatives have been cited at the velodrome session of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Our reporter reports that it's not clear whether they were invited as observers or they were there to lay ambush for some of the party faithful. We don't know, and this is unprecedented.
I don't think a political party will
Invite
invite EFCC in their convention. I don't think so. But if the EFCC operatives are there, I think they are doing disservice to this country, because there is no high-profile Nigerian that the EFCC will extend an invitation to such a person and that person will not go. I don't know.
There is the case of a coach, and they said it was invited. That's why they went to the house and broke the house.
Well, even at that, I think the power given to the EFCC is too much. If you check the act, establishing the EFCC, their ID card itself, at the back of the ID card, is a warrant of arrest. So what that means, they don't need court order, to arrest a suspect. But this is an event that is taking place. So allow the political parties to do.
That's the wrong place to go for any reason. For any reason.
Yes.
So, but why would EFCC? Because our reporters who saw them said they are wearing their vest with the inscription EFCC, and about 9 of them taking strategic position. So what are they doing there?
They may be there to intimidate some candidate, because definitely money will exchange hands.
It's not their business.
They may say that it's their business because this is an electoral process and they don't want money laundering. They don't want bribery and corruption.
Okay, so they are there as observers.
Yes, they are fighting bribery
as law
and
enforcement
corruption.
officers.
Yes,
okay. So they want to ensure that nobody bribe anyone.
Yes.
No vote buying and no vote selling.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
maybe dealers of votes will not have business to do today. That's
so they are there maybe to just scare, the people that are there.
All right, that's a good one. If that is it,
yes.
I don't want to hear story that touches the heart at the end of the convention. Well, these who are more members of the party and delegates are arriving, and even though voting has not come, but I want to believe traditionally they want the voting to be in the middle of the night.
It is usual.
Or at nightfall.
Yes, they have always been doing their things in the night. But I think it's not encouraging. Since we only have 774 delegates, let them just cast their vote, and the counting should be done. Everything should be done at the daytime. We are facing some kind of insecurity issues. So, taking this thing to the night is by itself, allowing some kind of suspicion or some kind of issues that may bring security breaches. So
on our screen as we speak is the former governor of Abia State and senator representing Abia Central, Senator Kalu Oji. Yes. No, this one is not Oji. The predecessor at the government house is Oji Kalu, who is now the Senate chief whip.
Yes.
This one is
also Oji.
Theodore Oji, former governor.
Uchendu.
Yes, Uchendu, former governor of Abia State and currently senator representing Abia Central. Theodore Oji is now at the venue of the convention. Also earlier, I saw Munir Ned Nwoko, the former member of House of Representatives. Barrister Ned Nwoko is also on ground. Also, the PDP governorship candidate in Osun State, Senator Nuruddin Ademola Adeleke, is also on ground. I want to believe he's one leading the Osun delegates.
Osun delegates. The chairman of the party will lead the delegates since they don't have
governor in place. This is a would-be governor.
Well, let's see. In the last election, the election went back to second ballot, even though it was very clear to many that he won the election. But at the end of the day, we saw what actually transpired, and but he's now ready to go for it again. But Oyetola has spent like 4 years and like 3 years, yes,
No, almost
like
four now.
almost
Going to
4 years, yes. So people believe that within this period you
He has
should
done a
be,
lot of
yes, you should be able to endear many people
to
to himself. But if he did not do that, then APC should be ready to lose that particular state, because their delegates family have a lot of supporters in Osun State.
All right, many thanks to you, Sunday. Isua, Leadership National Assembly correspondent, for coming to the studio to discuss the PDP Special National Convention. And of course, we've come to the end of today's edition of this program. We'll still go and see how the convention will pan out. By Monday, we should be able to give you more details and analysis on our different programs for the day on Monday. My name remains Body Badibo. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.